All right, we're 57 days out. This week is a diet break week. It was a little unplanned, but I'll explain why I decided to do that. I increased cardio and I increased steps and I dropped food as low as I could, and scale just was not moving. Performance just continued to drop. Sleep just got worse, and I just started getting to a point where I felt like I needed a nap all day. So a little bit of good news is my dad wanted to go get a bod pod test up at the university. And I was like, yeah, why the hell not? I've never got one before because I just don't care about body fat percentage. And the results said 7.6%, which is kind of unexpected. So a couple points of confirmation for me of choosing to do a diet break. If I'm 7.6%, that means that I only need to lose another 4% to get as lean as I want to be on stage. I feel like I can do that in 5 or 6 weeks and still have a week or two to practice my peak and kind of coast into the show. With lack of performance, lack of movement on the scale, just feeling crappy, looking flat, and little external validation of being 7.6% body fat. All right, I think we got a little room to do a diet break. So for the rest of this week, I've just increased calories. So on training days, I'm at 3,300 on training days. And then I brought up my rest days to 2,600 calories. And I added some carbs in on rest days just before bed. Primarily just increased calories from with carbs. So I added a good 1,000 calories of carbs on training days and added about 1,000 calories of carbs on rest days too. So that has been quite heavenly. The first day that I deployed the diet break, energy levels immediately went up. Sleep immediately improved. I just started filling out, which was great. One little mental mind fuck that happened was I've been really dry and really lean in the mornings, which has been really exciting for me because I've never been this lean in my life. And then as soon as I started the diet break, I started losing some of that definition. I wasn't as crisp. I was getting a little soft. It was definitely a lot more full, but I was getting a little soft. And so that kind of screwed with my mind a little bit. Like, oh shit, I'm gaining fat. I gotta stop. But no, just gotta let the body do its thing. I've only gained 2 pounds on this diet break, which is to be expected. 2 pounds for adding an extra 1,000 calories of carbs each day seems pretty typical. A lot more pumped up now, a lot more veiny. That's kind of cool. So I posed with Sarah last week, and we spent the whole hour just working on the relaxed poses, the front, side, and the rear relaxed poses. Those need the most work, and I'm really glad because my relaxed poses were my least favorite poses, but those are what the judges are looking at the most when it comes to scoring. So I'm really glad that we did that, and for the first time I feel confident, a little more confident in my relaxed poses. So I've been practicing that every day, and then tomorrow morning I go see her again, and I don't know what we'll be working on. Maybe we'll be working on the relaxed poses again. I don't know, but whatever she says goes. Yeah, so another big change that happened for me this week was I've decided to come off of my depression medications, which was kind of scary, but I think it was necessary. And I'll explain why. So if you've been following along, I got diagnosed with depression and complex PTSD earlier this year. And you can just go watch the videos. I was a mess. And so I started medication and changed my life overnight. But over the last month, I've noticed that the side effects were starting to outweigh the benefits, namely my inability to sleep. So if you remember, when I first started the antidepressants, again, I'm not gonna name names because that's not what my channel's about, but when I first started, I was waking up at 4 and I felt great because before I started taking the meds, it was impossible for me to wake up. So I was really excited about that. But now it's starting to kind of suck because I've been waking up like every 2 hours and just not getting rested. So my psychiatrist starts me on another medication to help with sleep. Well, that causes additional side effects like grogginess throughout the day, just feeling numb emotionally. So if you go on Reddit, this is a common problem when you pair these two medications. So the solution is you use another medication, and then you have side effects with that medication. So you pair that with another medication, right? And so I was like, okay, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play this game of take a medication and then another medication to offset the side effects and then another medication to offset those side effects. I'm grateful that the medicine worked when I needed it, but now I feel like I'm at a point where I don't need it anymore. So I came off of them cold turkey last week, and the first couple days were rough, but I feel really good. I feel really, really good, and I'm really, really excited. I'm sleeping all the way through the night. My energy is back. I don't feel like I'm groggy anymore. My focus is coming back. So obviously I'm not telling you to come off of your medications, but like for me, the medicine served its purpose at the time. It allowed for me to get back into the habits that used to be part of my life. And now that those habits are back full force and I'm fully 100% committed, my meditations are in a good spot, my visualizations are in a good spot, I think it's time for me to come off. So that was a personal decision for me, and I'm glad I did it. I am using some Eastern medicine protocols to kind of help balance me out while I cut out those medications, which we can talk more about if you guys want. That's this week's check-in. Thanks for walking with me. We'll see you next week.